This is Coach Tamara here from Wealthy Woman Every Day, and I am so excited to share these success stories with you. Not only will they inspire you, but you will learn so many different strategies for growing your own dream business. So listen and be inspired. And if you have a success story that you would like to share, feel free to click on the link below and watch also a little bit more about being a part of Spotlight on Your Success. I will share your success story in my book, on my podcast, on my live stream that runs 24/7, and now on my TV shows. So to learn more about how you can become part of this amazing project, go ahead and click the link, or you can go to wealthywomaneveryday.com/spotlight dash on dash your dash success. I look forward to sharing your beautiful success story as well. Well, hello, beautiful wealthy women. It is Coach Tamara here from Wealthy Woman Every Day. I have been so excited to have this interview for so long. It was like watching the clock. Like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Because our schedules are so busy. And my guest expert today is such an expert. She's in such demand that we had to wait a little while to finally get this beautiful success story interview going. So this is going to up level you in so many ways. I won't say anything. I will turn the camera and mic over in a minute. All I can tell you is you will feel joy through your whole sense of self. You will feel inspired, energized, excited about everything because she is just the embodiment of what she does. It is who she is. So there's like no real like distinction between who she is and what she does. They're like the same thing. And she is amazing. And I guess that's all I'll say for now. But we're going to have such a great interview. So get prepared and go ahead and share with us, who are you? Who do you help? Why does it matter to you? Tell us all the things.
Oh my goodness, Tamara. Thank you so much for that intro. That's like the best intro I've ever heard about myself. So thank you. It's truly my honor and privilege to be here. And thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Elaine. I am a mindset trainer and a strategist. I've been serving in this particular role for the past long time, 8, 9 years. I love what I do. And at the same time, I didn't start in this way. I was a registered dietitian. If you don't know what it is, if you're curious, just Google it. Basically, my previous role was the nutrition expert within a healthcare team. That's what I went to school for. I went to school for it because I love food. I'm passionate about food, and I have always been curious about human body. So combining both passion and love, I chose this profession to study at university, and I did an undergrad and a master degree in nutrition. I became a registered dietitian thinking, I'm going to save the world. And I started working full time. Literally 2 weeks later, I was like, this is it. I don't think I'm fulfilled. But I didn't have enough courage to even honor that voice. So I stayed in healthcare for 8 years. Only the longer I stayed in there, the more I realized this is really not for me. It became so sucking for me, but I didn't know what else I could do because I kept, being a type A and high performer and really want to make an impact. So I kept climbing the ladder within healthcare, within the organization I was working for, kept getting promotions, and my title just get fancier and fancier. I got more pay. So I felt like I got in this place where there's really no exit. I had to stuck in this path for the rest of my life. And that was so painful. Until one day I was literally crying in the parking lot because I felt like I don't want to go to work. I didn't see my son. He was only taller at the time. I didn't see my husband because I feel so Like I need to get to work earlier because I'm a manager. I work directly with the CEO. It's just my ego was just like, go show up more. But I was so sad inside because this inside of me, my heart was hollow. My soul was just so lacking of this fulfillment. When I was crying in my car, I'm very grateful for that moment, even though it was very dark, because in that moment I made a decision. Something got to change. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what's my next step. I just know something has to change. With that decision, the universe kind of presented me a lot of opportunities, and I was open for them. One thing led to another. I was exposed to personal development, and I start to realize the power of your thinking, the power of your mindset. From there, I made a decision to leave my career that I've built for 8 years and start a brand new chapter. Holy moly, didn't I learn so much in being an entrepreneur, building your own business. And yeah, so fast forward, this is here I am. I'm a mindset trainer and a strategist. I support other high achieving, heart centered and passion driven entrepreneurs to shorten your journey of building your own business that is your passion project.
I think so many can relate to this dark night of the soul where
Right.
you are just broken inside and you just feel like, how can I even do this? And you know that this is not how life is meant to be, with that lack of joy, really. And then it's so often it is in those breaking moments, right, that the light shines through, like a new,
Right.
like you're open to receiving some, like you just said, you're open for it, you're open to receiving something different. And then yeah, it's like that
Yeah.
energy shifts, the energetics, and your voice is heard, and somehow new opportunities line up. And what I love so much about having this conversation with you is that you went through it. I mean, I could feel that pain as you were describing it. And we've all been there in some form or another. And it is stifling, right? It is
Yeah.
so stifling. And when you don't know that there's hope, and then you break it, and then there's hope. And like now you get to help others to have those breakthrough moments, and you know it so well because you went through it. So that walking the walk, talking the talk, it resonates. This is what is so beautiful to me about many of the women that I interview. It is often the career choice after they had a breakdown, where they
Right.
said something broke them, where they felt compelled to find a way first to heal themselves, and then in the healing, this giving, nurturing, loving place that most women have is like, now how can I help others? How can I help
Right.
others? And then is the birthing of a beautiful business in which you get to live out your highest purpose. And then it all makes sense, right? It all makes sense why you had to go through those moments of the suffering to get to the other side of it, and ultimately be a healer for another, an inspiration as well, because there's plenty of women listening to this soon, later, all time, that will resonate with what you just shared and realize they're not alone. And what we're going to talk about next is like, how did what was the path for you? How did you start to build from, basically starting from scratch, right? And that will lay the foundation for others to be inspired. And then, of course, the quantum leap is they just reach out to you and have you help them with their journey so they can speed it up and not have to go through all the zigzags. So we cover everybody who's listening here, that, like I said, this is going to be an inspiration. So before we go on, can you just please share your website so people know how to find you? If you are a woman business owner, then go ahead and get some free visibility for your business. I am offering you the chance to not only be in my upcoming book, but you will also be included in my podcast compilation, my 24/7 YouTube live stream compilation, and now even on my TV show on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. All you need to do is go ahead and click the link on the bottom of this episode, or you can just go to wealthywomaneveryday.com/spotlight dash on dash your dash success. I am so excited to share your success story and get you the visibility that you deserve. Go ahead and click on that link today.
Yes, my website is enlightenedsuccess.com. So it's exactly what it sounds like, enlightenedsuccess.com. So all spelled out. That's all of where all of my information is held, and you can reach out to me. All of my contact information is there as well.
I love this. Okay. Well, let's start with before we started this actual official recording, we were talking about the energy, right? The energetics.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. You can share kind of like what you want, what we were kind of speaking about, and elaborate on that, because I was just literally these last couple days, I have been watching training on the energetics, getting yourself in that space of being the energetic match, manifesting, whatever you want to call it, being in alignment, being authentic to yourself so things do show up. This is so important. This is a lot of the internal work, and a lot of us, sometimes we think, we brush it off as it's not that important. It's not like the tactile, like, okay, well, I should be doing this many Instagram reels, and I got to do this podcast, and I have to do that. And those are all important. But let's talk about the energetics, because this is such an important foundational piece, and it kind of lines everything up. And so I'm going to be quiet and let you talk on that for a
Yeah,
little bit.
absolutely. One concept I always share with my clients is called a success trifecta. So if you would draw a triangle, and that this represents your transformation, what is transformation? You have a current result, and in your mind, you have something else you want. You haven't right now, it's not your reality just yet. And it's a transformation from change from point A to point B. So success trifecta, a triangle, is start with mindset. We talk about energy, we talk about feelings, we talk about this where is it all coming from? It's coming from your thinking. Everything is an energy. This is not woohoo stuff. This is according to quantum physics, the
Right.
most deepest science that we human beings in today's age are explored too. 80% of your success, 80% of you say, I want to get healthier. I want to 10x my business. I want to attract the love of my life. Whatever is that success you defined, 80% of it is coming from your thinking. Yet, very often, we dive into the other 2 points, which is strategy and action plan. Equally, they are very important still. Without those 20%, you don't have a 100% transformation. But very often we put emphasis on just work harder, just take more action, push yourself.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. And
Yeah.
anybody else? And it's you can create result temporarily, but
Yeah.
it's going to be feeling very exotic. It's exhausting,
Yep.
and it's going to be like taking unnecessary length of time. And most importantly, if you don't have a mindset that is a match to the end result you want, if you just push yourself to create a temporary result, it's not going to last. That's why think about wealth, money. The channel is all about wealth and wealthy woman. Think about the statistics of lottery winners. Doesn't matter whether they won 1 million or 10 billion, whatever is the number, 95% of them within 5 years will go back to their financial status before they're winning. Doesn't matter how much they won. Why? It's because their mindset hasn't changed. They're still viewing themselves as the poor, broken person, whatever it is. I don't know. It's just it's not right or wrong. It's very important. It's not to judge yourself. Maybe you say, oh, that's damn it. I have been thinking things wrong. Please be very kind to yourself. All the work I do is about to come from the place of love, gratitude, and grace, to have awareness, to realize, oh, 80% of my success is in my thinking. So let's just pour, doesn't mean you can stop your strategy and action. It's stay there and humming. No, that doesn't work either. It's you still required to take
Mhm.
action. But when you address your mindset, then the strategy that actually works for you is going to flow out very easily. And the actions that you know you're going to take is going to flow out very easily because you address the drive of your motivation, which is inner. Is don't let it from outer. Don't let it because the expert says that, or other business guru says that. Is because from you, those actions will really propel you down to the next level, and it's something you love. You cannot wait to get up to do it. So that's 80%. And again, if depending on what study or which amazing thought leaders you think about, uh Bob Proctor, the late Bob Proctor, I have the privilege to study with him as well. He would say 95% of your success is in your thinking, in your mindset. And another name that is very well known, Tony Robbins, and he says 80% of your success is in your in your psychology, which is your thinking. But it comes down to do something to address your mindset. Hire a coach, great. You have a coach, two coaches in front of you. It doesn't have to be that way. It's whatever you resonate right now. Maybe it's to buy a book, actually read it. Maybe it's to get an audiobook, listen to it over and over so you understand what it's talking about. Maybe it's to follow somebody on social or watch some YouTube videos, like whatever serves you right now to grow your thinking, grow your awareness. When you grow that, I promise you, your life, that is a universal law. It will propel you to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. Is the same universal law governs our life, just like the law of electricity. What would happen? I'm not going to do that, and don't do that. But let's just imagine I put my finger just into the electrical socket. What's going to happen?
Again, people don't do this. We're just
Don't
using a
do this.
hypothetical.
Okay, let's change the example. That's okay. Let's imagine you step onto a stair, a flat of stair, and you jump. What's going to happen? Are you going to float into the air? No. You know that you're going to land on the ground. Why? Because you understand the law of gravity. We work with it. You don't need to know exactly how the magnetic field, or like, I'm not a physicist. I don't know exactly what's happening that I will land on the ground, but I know that the law of gravity works all the time. The same of law of thinking, law of energy, all of those are universal laws. So if you're willing to grow, expand your awareness, your mindset, I promise you, your success is actually inevitable. The process might be challenging at times, by all means, because we're stepping out of doing something new. You're growing. There are moments where it's just like, if it might feel painful, but I promise you, if you're willing to stay consistent with growing your own mindset from that place, keep taking action, your success is inevitable.
Absolutely. I mean, wow. Just amazing and absolute truth. And here's the thing, a couple things I want to address, because I think that this is some of the reason we don't pay attention enough and give enough credit to these, let's just call them the energetics, right? Or the laws, right? So often, especially for women, it hasn't been that long that we women are, making businesses and making millions and making movements and missions and all of the things. There's the longest time that it's, bro culture and hustle culture. And this became our, okay, well, if I want to be successful, let me model myself after someone who's the opposite sex and has a whole different chemistry, and bravo to them. And definitely there's things we can take and learn from, but it's not a natural fit, obviously, for the obvious reasons. We're different in so many ways. And there hasn't been enough time for, you know, the focus being so much on all of the energetics and operating with them. This tends to definitely be more of a focus in the female parts of, the understanding of business. Thank God that's what resonates with us. Before we even get onto that, what you said before, also, you want to make sure that what your goal is really your joy, what you want to do, that you jump out of bed for, right? Because if it's just about, let's say, making money, you might have a little success, but then it's going to be like pulling yourself forward. You have that perfect example of what you were going through. You were up leveling in your corporate job, you were making more money, the bonuses, this, but it didn't bring you any joy to the point where you were like, no, I can't, it doesn't matter. And I remember, we all over time mostly accumulate some skill sets that we can make money on. And I've had that happen. Have the whole digital marketing background. I could help women business owners or any business owners with so many different things. And then it becomes overwhelming. Like, well, how do I choose? We'll never choose just for money, because there's a million ways you can make a lot of money, but that is
Yeah.
not going to make you happy, and it will not last. It will not last. And so when again, with the company name, right? Wealthy Woman Every Day. It's about being so abundant and joyful and wealthy in abundance and joyfulness in every single part of your life. And you need to be aware. You need to ask yourself questions. Where do I get so exhausted? Where do I get naturally energized? All of these things. And they come down to energy and positioning. And so I love that we're having this conversation, because it is that important. We are tempted to think it's not. It's woo woo. It should only get about 10 to 20% of my attention. And let me do the hard tactical, not necessarily hard, but the tactical things. But it's really not that way. And that is why sometimes you might be feeling so overwhelmed, tired, unmotivated, all of the things. And you have to have a gentle forgiveness of yourself if you haven't done it perfectly. And that's okay. None of us have. And I just wanted to get back into what you were saying about these energetics being so important and foundational. So I might go rogue, because this conversation is really important. We'll get to some of these success questions, but I'm loving this conversation because it is that important and is
Right.
really your wheelhouse, right? So can you start to share maybe a couple examples of how a woman can get into her proper laws and energies, so that she
Mm.
can feel like, okay, what can I get rid of that doesn't serve me? What can I focus on that does serve me, so that I have the energy and power to do the thing that I really want to do? So maybe,
Yes.
how does that look like in the normal daily life? How does that
Yeah.
show up?
Yesterday I was doing a laser coaching in one of my signature programs, and the woman in this program, they are high achieving, heart centered. Most of them are coaches, but they are all business entrepreneurs. One of them, she is relatively new to this work, to my support structure, and she's very much she has been doing ever since she graduated from university. She has been an entrepreneur. She never worked for nobody else. She had a music school business before, and then she transitioned into financial. And she has been doing that business for over 25 years, very successfully in her business. And she realized that this talking about this different gender and this pushing energy, this like, oh, masculine, I can
Yeah.
do this, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to, and she, part of her felt just depleted, and innately she knew that there's something in her mind that will allow her to achieve the next level of financial success, business success, while with ease, through ease and flow. So yesterday when we were talking about this, as her deepening her understanding about her own thinking, that's really what it is. I'm a mindset trainer. Everything is coming from our thinking. I have, let's using an example. Women, mothers. I have two kids. One of them is almost 4, and she cries because she is still technically a baby. And when you hear children cry, they could be for all different reasons. but sometimes we feel like we got to automatically react, like a knee-jerk reaction to worry, to have this tensed up, stretch and stressed energy. Let's take a pause using this little example as an example.
Mhm.
It's an option for us to feel stressed out. Even though this child might be hurting, you can go presenting yourself doesn't mean you don't speed up. You might move very quickly, yet you can move quickly with calm confidence rather than this, gosh, what's happening to you? Like my parents spend a lot of time. I'm very grateful for them. They're here supporting us and taking care of our kids when I'm at work or both of us at work. And they have a very different reaction. When the little one, of course, their grandkids, they're when she has even just a little they will just freak out and they make a big scene. Oh my gosh, what's going on, my baby? And that's very different compared to me because I trained my mind enough to know that in that moment, whatever happens, for me to stress out is not going to make anything better. It's easy to say,
Yes.
but it takes training for you to notice where you're noticing. Notice the moment, whether it's in daily life or in business, where you're just like, ugh, this
Mhm.
contractive negative feeling is coming up. Where are they coming from? Our thinking. There's nothing wrong about it.
Yeah.
It's not to bash yourself, it's to love all of yourself and to say, okay, I'm noticing that part of me is getting frustrated, angry, fear, whatever it is coming up. You just take a breath. However, you take a calm breath. There are so many different breathing techniques. I'm not the expert in there. And you can resonate with whatever method you resonate with. You just calm your nervous system to simply say, what is my solution? What is my action to take to respond instead of have this knee-jerk reaction? It start with notice what's in your mind. Notice what you're noticing. It is a practice. What does that mean? It's an ongoing, lifelong commitment. The more you practice, the faster you will be realizing, oh, that's coming up, and I can
Mhm.
change my thinking with a very different, very, very different attitude, very different feeling. So you can go through life with not that we don't ever have fear because this as long as you're breathing we all have, like I still have that on a daily basis. It's just the fear, doubt, anger, frustration shows up in my life less and less. They last very short period of time, and I'm able to see that, notice that, and transfer that much quickly because of the work I have been doing, I'm still doing. Is a lifelong commitment.
I love that you're actually talking about this because it puts the power back with us. I think sometimes we realize or we think that we just have to react to everything, that somehow we're like a runaway train and that we don't have the ability to like take that pause, think, or at least notice how we might have reacted and can we do it better. I'm needing this a lot myself right now where I you get to a point, maybe you can share on this. You get to a point where you're like, you have your vision board or your dreams, the things you want to achieve.
Right.
You also notice that you have a certain amount of energy, right? Like it's not unlimited or time or whatever it might be. And so then all of a sudden you're like, okay, you start to notice the things that are starting to sap your energy or have your mind go in a spin that you didn't need to do. And it does come exactly what you say. Step outside of yourself. And what are you doing? What are you thinking about? All of those things. Take inventory. And I actually just did this because I started to get into and again, there's always positive and negatives, right? But I was starting to find myself getting into the Instagram scrolling, right? I was looking for the funny cat videos or the funny dancing videos that would make me sometimes laugh so hard, and I would need that laugh. It felt so good. And so that's why I was stuck on it, because there's those moments you just need a little downtime, right? But in between all of it was all of the doom stuff, the doom, doom, doom. And I started to realize like it was sapping me. It was making me uh scared, like paranoid or frantic. And I'm like, and I had to catch it And I said, you know what? If I really need to watch some kind of funny like home bloopers or whatever it is, I can go specifically to YouTube, search on a video that is only about that, avoid the doom scroll altogether. And I had to make the decision. I removed the apps from my phone because I realized it was just a habit and I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, yet I was feeling lower vibe energy because of what was being thrown in my face. And I'm sure we can all relate to that. And then I said, okay, well, I can make a choice here. It is my life, and I am the determiner of what I allow in my mind. And this has never been what I did allow in my mind. So why am I allowing it now? And so I guess I just want, if you can speak a little bit to this, because I think it's really important, the whole regulation of the nervous system. So often I think, like I was saying, we just react and we just think that's normal. We just get emotional, we react, all different types of ways, and we never necessarily, I won't say never, but it's not so common for us to question ourselves or study our behavior and say, did that really work for me? Should I do it better? And it is important because all of you women out there that are going for the big dreams, that are trying to create the big life, this is what I meant. You have a big vision. You have so much energy for the day. Use it wisely. This is like your money. Your energy is like your money. You don't want to just throw your money away and throw it in the garbage, right? Because it's a resource. The same thing with your energy, your time, what you focus on. And don't take this lightly. It's as important as realizing that there are energies and laws in the world that will work to support you. And the same thing, you have to be critical about, what can you cut out that is not serving you? Because it'll help you quantum leap closer to your goals. And I would love to speak on this. I've actually never had this discussion before in one of my interviews, and I really, really feel it's necessary to protect our peace, protect our energy, make sure that we're supporting ourselves so that we can achieve all that we want to achieve in life.
Right. There is a analogy about our mind. First of all, human minds are brilliant. That's why we are able to create so like those high tech stuff. Like you're not living anywhere close to me, yet we can have this conversation because of technology. A human mind is brilliant. Your mind is brilliant, and because our mind is so brilliant, it's like a jumping monkey.
Yeah.
So that's why we have lots of stimulants coming out, the news,
Mhm.
social media, all of those things. If we are not mindful about our mind, that is when this jumping monkey can take us haywire. Just go, whoa.
Yes. Put you in
That
the
is,
spin, right?
it
Yep.
is bad, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why it's so important to grow our consciousness through mindset training. Again, however you do your training, is to be able to stay laser focused. You say you have a vision board, and many people have vision board. That's amazing. My next question: how often are you connecting with your vision board? Are you looking at it and energetically stepping into that life at least 3 times a day? At least 3 times a day, just like you would eat 3 meals a day. And then how much nutrients from your thinking you're feeding into your vision board.
Oh, I
my
like that
first vision
analogy.
board my first vision board I created that, and I tuck it in the corner of, like, I didn't, like, later on I was like, none of that happened, no wonder, because I never engaged with it. You got to engage actively from your thinking, to be laser focused, to say, all right, I'm doubling my business this year. I'm decided, I'm doing this. It's okay if you don't know how. That's okay. How will come. Don't focus on the how. Focus on, this is the result I would love to have. And then you do everything to serve that result. Doesn't mean you work 16-hour days to serve that result. Is to also know what is love speaking through you, because love is energy. If you want to manifest things with ease and flow, is to honor your love. It's never about to work more. So if you look at my calendar, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I pick up my kids. Those time from 2:30 to about 4:30, because the kids goes to a school where it's kind of far away with
Yeah.
traffic or whatever, even though I live in a small city. And that, but that, because that is important for me. Today, my son has a basketball game. The kid just started basketball, doing basketball stuff. And I block time that time off. I'm not gonna think about my business during that time. I trained myself to do that because the previous type A in me would be like thinking constantly about business. Doesn't matter where I'm going. That's
Yeah.
not serving me. That's not serving my business. That's definitely not serving my child. When I'm with my
Yes.
child, I'm laser focused. I make decision. I don't take them to everything. My kids have piano, have karate, have Chinese class, whatever. I don't take them to everything all the time. I have support. I'm very grateful. My parents are here. My dad can drive, so he can take him. The little one is not doing much, but and yet I make the decision to say, what are the important things for me out of love?
Do you see
Yeah.
in like if you had to do you see a certain pattern you can overgeneralize this of certain things that you might say to all of the women listening, double check how, are you doom scrolling, are you doing this, where, what can you give the like some uh typical things that women might be absorbing or engaging with that are really not serving them well, and then maybe some questions that they could potentially ask themselves to double check, check in with themselves. Do you have some advice on that so that they can
Yes.
get really take the beautiful love and energy that they do have and direct it out properly for what they
Yeah.
really desire in life?
Yes, and if I may, I'm going to take it
Yes.
to a whole other level. Uh, and
I
just
love that. Levels are good.
circling back to the one tool that really is going to change your life, which is to notice what you're noticing. If you're not noticing that you're spending 2 hours scrolling, then nothing is going to happen. It's about awareness. So
Yes.
notice what you're thinking, and then start to really focusing on what you would love. Explore what love feels like for you. People think, oh, I know what I would love. I would love to have $10 million a year. I would love to live in a mansion. I would love to have like three different, Mercedes Benz and G car. Like our mind right now is filled with a lot of external influence that we don't even know is there.
Yeah. Mhm.
I started that when I first started my my own transformational journey. By the way, I believe a coach's first client is themselves. So I have always been my first best client of
Yep.
myself. I do the work when I share with my clients before I share with my clients. So
Yeah.
my vision was this level of achievement and this level of income, and it's very much from my ego. Nothing wrong with that. That was my awareness at the time. But along the years, as I grow myself and my business and my life, I was able to really discover what love is speaking through me. That is where I put my focal point in through my thinking. What is love speaking for you? What would love do? What would love say? In this very moment, you say, I tell you, anything is possible. Let's imagine 3 years from now, you have full spectrum success, not just in your business, not just in your money, but also your time, your relationship, the impact you're making on the planet Earth, and your own health and well being. Give me a list of everything from your imagination that you would love to manifest in your life 3 years from now. What does that look like coming from love? And give every single line a double check. Because sometimes I say, I dreamed of a house that is double the size of I live in a beautiful spacious house, and from my ego, double the size of my current house, have an indoor pool because Canada is so cold. And it's heated, and as you can imagine, that is represents a certain financial status. Not that that is bad or anything, but it was driven by my ego. It's not coming from love. Would I love to maintain an indoor pool? Later on I realized, heck no. So it takes time to realize what are
Absolutely.
truly the most important thing for me.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is notice where you're noticing, stay laser focused in what you would love. And every day, even 5 minutes a day to serve that goal, that
That's what I
vision.
was gonna say. Make sure, does it serve me? Does it serve others? Is it in service? I loved it. It's such a beautiful experience because, like you said, even we're all meant to reach potentials. And even if our ego gets in the way a little bit, like you were
That's
saying, it
okay.
doesn't matter. That's
That's
awesome
okay.
that we can have that creative vision. And then what you're just doing is scaling down and double checking. It's like, okay, you're creating the blueprint of your whole experience, your whole life. And of course that takes fine tuning and questioning and double checking in. We change as we grow. So things that we wanted once don't always show up, and that's great
Right.
too. It's just all good things. I would just say that the way you feel is really such an important indicator. Don't overlook it. If something isn't feeling uplifting or joyful to you, double check on that, question it, whatever that might be, because you are the designer of your life experience. And the closer that you bring it to all the love that you're talking about, which is joy, love, abundance, all of that, you will just be in your whole beauty of self. And then that will just echo out to everybody around you. It's just the double blessing in it's just such a good thing. So I love that we spent this time on the energy. The awareness is so important. The grace and love, which is forgiving yourself when you don't get it right. That's okay. This whole thing is about one step in front of the other and keep going forward and learning and being aware. And this is all this is so foundational what we talked about. Now I will just double check my little success questions because
Yes.
let's just see if we can pull something out. But all of you women that are listening to this, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, just get into this space of the energy and laws and the awareness of yourself. Remember that your time and energy is just as important as any asset. And so be very respectful of it and make sure it's serving you well. And okay, let me just go ahead and okay, what would you suggest is the number one, if you had to give a woman business owner best business strategy that she can have, what would you say that would be outside of the energy stuff that we've been doing?
Right. I would say be very clear of your goals and vision. Have a very clear 12-month goal or year-long goal, and also have a very clear quarterly goal. And so every single time you hear an idea, you have an idea, or you hear somebody else says an idea, the first thing you check is, does this idea serve my goal and vision for this year? Because not all ideas will, sometimes it's just a diversion, it's just a distraction, it's a squirrel syndrome. Everybody's
Yeah,
doing that. Let me do that.
chasing
No,
squirrels.
here's
Yeah,
the thing, business owners, entrepreneurs, every single strategy works.
yeah,
Every single strategy works. Here are the two things for yourself. How can you determine if is some a strategy you want to implement into your business? One, this is still everything is in energy. Check back to your energy, to your mindset to say, do I love this idea? Do I love this idea? I've worked with so many coaches, they hate social media.
yeah,
So
yeah.
don't force yourself to launch that strategy. If you don't love it, leave it. You don't need social media to be highly successful, 6, 7 figures even. Okay, do you love the idea? You love it, first check. And second, do it consistently. Don't give it a month of time and say it doesn't work. If you still love the idea, keep going. Keep going. The law of gestation, for us women, for any women who are mothers, we know when we are pregnant, when the baby is conceived, we don't want it to come out after 5 months. That's not good. We want it to be in the oven, for lack of better expression,
Yeah.
for the required period of time.
I love what you said about doing only what resonates with you in your energy field, what you love, because this is the actual solution to what women find themselves
Yeah.
coming up against in their business all the time, which is overwhelm.
Yeah.
Overwhelm is it just can just stop you in your tracks. Like you're like a deer in headlights. You don't know what to do because there's so much to do. It's so overwhelming that you freeze.
Yeah.
And I love this advice. I think it's the most beautiful advice and simple. Do you love it? If you don't, leave it. Just don't.
Yeah.
There are
Exactly.
many ways to be successful. There are many ways to go about it. It's not just because you're hearing this is the way. And we all do this. I can't even tell you how many things that I also, it's
Me
normal,
too.
right?
Yes,
It's
me
normal,
too.
right?
Been there, done that.
Yes, exactly. And then we also, what you're saying, make sure I love this before what you said about your like vision board, your big goals, check in because so often we can get the shiny object syndrome, right? And that just deviates us from the big picture.
Yeah.
All of these, it's like tending a garden, really. You have to be aware, like the overwhelm is weeds. The shining object syndrome can potentially be amazing things that you come in and bring into your
Yeah.
world, but sometimes not. It can be a weed. Feeling like you have to do all the things, then you're going to get into that bro hustle culture where you're going to deplete yourself and you're not going to be the best you that you can be. So
Yeah.
imagine your business, your life as a garden that you want to flourish and grow beautifully, but it takes maintenance and consistency of that
Right.
maintenance, right? So
Absolutely.
maintenance, getting rid of what doesn't serve you, consistency, keep doing what does serve you. You will have a beautiful garden in time, not overnight, right? Like
Exactly.
if you plant a seed,
Exactly.
it doesn't happen overnight. And that's
Yeah.
why be aware of these quick success things too. It can happen quantum leaping, but that typically happens only from mindset,
Yeah.
availability, and readiness. It's not necessarily from some magic cure out there. So
Yeah.
love everything that you're saying right
Yeah.
now. Really.
Tamara, really quick, just talking about quantum leap. Quantum leap never happens if you want a quantum leap. Quantum
Good
leap
point.
happens when you are, no matter what, whether it takes 3 years, whether it takes 3 days, I'm doing this, I'm serving this. This is my call from my heart, from my spirit. I'm doing this. That is when you see you're detached. That is
Yes.
when you're willing to be picked up by this divine energy and
Mm-hmm.
go through quantum leaps. It's never people say, "Oh, I want a quantum leap."
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know that. Yeah,
I love it. You know what? I love the things that we're talking about because they're really expansive and the subject matters are so important. Let's dive into detachment. Tell me when you think of a woman business owner, an attached one to whatever that might look like and how that feels and shows up, and then a woman that is in her business detached. What is the difference? Like, and what is the benefit? And how can she get there to,
yeah,
improving that part of her
yeah.
experience?
Which is very divinely. Just before I hop onto this recording, I apologize, and Tamara has been so grateful, gracious to. I was late because I was talking with somebody, and I supported her in a full day business planning one on one. She loved it, and I was just doing some follow up call, and one thing led to another. I was very detached because I saw her motivation, I saw her drive, and I know that what I can support her with is not about me. It's going to really allow her to stay on track of expanding her business. And I just invited her to say, I would love to have you in my mastermind designed specifically for coaches. This is one of the programs I offer. And she said yes. So we're going through the payment and all of that. And that took longer than I had timed. And so this detachment is coming from, I love what I do and it is not about me. I always tell any of my potential clients, my clients, I'm not better than you, I'm not smarter than you. I probably made way more mistake than I care for, but it doesn't matter. It's about my intention to here to be serving you. You are the highest authority. You are the owner of your business. I would never come in to say you should do this, do that, do that. That's not my approach. I'm not saying that doesn't work. That's not my approach. I'm here to support you to discover What is love speaking through you? What is the strategy that has a spark in it for you? And I'm here to hold space so you will follow through. So I will gently sometimes, very gentle from a love, give you a kick in the very end. But detachment is coming from love.
Yeah.
When you're operating from fear, oh, I need to make more money because I need to pay for my bills. Been there, done that. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just your opportunity to practice your mindset, your relationship thinking with money, and to really quiet down your fear. Not that we don't have fear. We all have fear. As long as you're breathing, we all have fear. We can have fear without fear showing up, run your show, run your enrollment conversation, run your sales calls. You don't want fear to have any say while you're doing sales. Sales is about serving. Sales is about, this is what I have. I would love to work with. And I've done that too. It's like people who my intuition is screaming, don't work with them. But fear was running the show. I needed that enrollment. I needed that sales. So later on, I'm like, oh, never that again. I don't ever regret. I know that was a lesson for me, but here's what you can shorten your journey to really follow your intuition. If you would love to work with somebody, if you would love to offer your service, your product to somebody, just simply say, I would love to share this with you. And detach means you take a deep breath in that moment. It's okay if you're like, I think better say yes. Part of you is thinking that. You just mind your own nervous system in that moment to say, I would love to work with you. I would love to offer this to you, and allow them to say yes or no and zip it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we feel like I'd better keep saying, keep talking because I'm nervous.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this comes into my next question then. A lot of women will struggle with imposter syndrome instead of the beautiful value that they can add. And this speaks to that, a lot of that inability to detach or have that nervous energy or fear-based energy. It has to do with knowing the value, knowing the worth that you are giving, regardless, right, of the outcome.
Yeah.
So can you speak just a little bit to how a woman business owner that maybe is struggling with some, imposter syndrome or who am I to, and I can't charge that, the whole overall general, mindset around that and how that she can kind of come into a place of her own personal power, which leads to the
Yeah,
detachment.
focus on the truth with a capital T. What is a truth? One, the truth is everything's divinely. If somebody is in front of you, that means you're made to work together. That person is not made to be served by somebody else who offers the exact same thing, maybe doing 10 times of the business you do. No, it's your job to serve that person. It's your job to offer your product to that person. It's your job. That is the divine truth. That's one truth. Second truth, you are worthy of all the good life has for you, period. Just
Mm-hmm.
write it down. If you change it to be whatever, I am worthy, as simple as that. I am enough, as simple as that. Whatever way you resonate, keep repeating that in yourself, because part of your thinking in your subconscious is saying, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy. That's okay. That's wherever it's coming from, doesn't matter. But if you're willing to consciously introduce a new idea, I am enough, that will replace the old thinking pattern. This is how transformation in your thinking happens. That's why 80% of your success is in here, my friend.
Yes. Oh, wow. I just knew this interview was going to be riveting with just inspiration, overflow. Love everything that we talked about today. I love that I felt there are moments when I do interviews that I feel so moved to follow a line of thinking that we're on. And I trust that divine download that this is meant to be explored more. And I can't be more thankful for the fact that we really got into the energetics, the laws, mindset stuff, 80%, being aware, regulating your system, all of the things that we talked about it's everything. It is so foundational for no matter what you want
Right.
to go for in your life, right? Not just business, every aspect you can apply these things. So I encourage all of you women just absorb this amazing interview, share it with your friends and family. Reach out, of course. Go ahead and share your website once more, and then we'll sign off. I just want to say I'm so thankful for this
Oh, thank you.
tremendously inspiring interview that we got a chance to share today
Oh,
together.
thank you so much, Tamara. Again, I say it and I mean it. Every single opportunity for me to share what I've learned in my journey. And I'm just starting, I'm a newbie in this entire mindset and awareness. But I have a passion to support others to discover what is their own truth. Again, enlightenedsuccess.com, or you look at my name. My name is quite unique. You can look me up on the main social media platforms. Reach out if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you want me to hold your vision. Just share me with your, just I am enough, whatever. I love what I do. It's just truly my passion. And I would love to see so many more women just living from a place of authentic truth, knowing that they're worthy, knowing that they are making a beautiful impact on humanity. Together, women, we are changing the world to be a better place. Doesn't
Oh,
matter what currently things look like, it doesn't matter, because
yes.
it is getting better. I believe that
Yes.
100%.
Well, I am so thankful. And I knew I was so excited to do this interview quite a while ago. And you delivered beautifully. Everything was perfect, on point. So I just want to share with you, beautiful, wealthy women, to really, take awareness of yourself, really take awareness, make sure you're supporting yourself and the dreams that you want to achieve. Do a self audit, talk to yourself out loud, be forgiving of yourself, be, consistent, do the things that bring you joy and ease. It doesn't have to be a hustle, it doesn't have to be on overwhelm. It's not necessary. So get into those proper mindsets and practice that. It will become a natural transition. You will eventually just be that person. But like
Right.
anything, it takes a little bit of practice, because it might not be that familiar, and it's a little, anything that's a little unfamiliar takes a little while to get used to. So it's kind of like what I always say, just keep moving forward with the actions towards your dreams, and know that you can do it. Be an inspiration, be inspired by these beautiful success stories. And thank you again so much for this beautiful, beautiful success story, sharing of your journey, which is beautiful and amazing. And this is Coach Tamara from Wealthy Woman Every Day. I will see you, beautiful, wealthy woman, next time. Bye for now. Bye bye.
Bye.
If you are a woman business owner, then go ahead and get some free visibility for your business. I am offering you the chance to not only be in my upcoming book, but you will also be included in my podcast compilation, my 24/7 YouTube live stream compilation, and now even on my TV show on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. All you need to do is go ahead and click the link on the bottom of this episode, or you can just go to wealthywomaneveryday.com/spotlight dash on dash your dash success. I am so excited to share your success story and get you the visibility that you deserve. Go ahead and click on that link today.